tí lọ
một hậu xí nè
tí lọ
thay individual chứ mà nó sẽ next thay để thay
yeah yeah
Caitlin Wang Bolt. Sarah Shaylin Mills. Christian Jalen Kraft. William T. Rovan.
I want to welcome the family, friends, the alumni, members of the Board of Trustees to Illinois College of Optometry's 179th commencement program. Wasn't that organist and the bagpipes fabulous? I'm delighted to see the class of 2022 together and in person here for this momentous ceremony. Graduates, you made it. This is truly a historic day. Speaking of historic, not only are we celebrating the class of 2022 this year, we're celebrating Illinois College of Optometry's 150th anniversary, the oldest college of optometry in the world. Now, some of you are likely looking at your program and thinking, 150 years old, but the program says it's the 179th commencement. What gives? The answer lies in a little ICO history. You see, back in the day, in the early 1900s, it was a much shorter educational program, and multiple classes would be graduated each year. Same thing happened, again, right after World War II, and there were many GIs that enrolled on the GI Bill, and ICO was turning out up to 3 classes per year. That takes our 150th anniversary year number up to the fact that we're celebrating 179 commencements today for this class of 2022. But enough history. These past 2 years of operating under pandemic conditions have been filled with need for constant adjustments and pivots for everyone. of optometry with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities appertaining thereto. Congratulations, doctors. Something really valuable, your ICO doctoral degree. Soon you'll become licensed to practice. Nearly 1/3 of you are headed to postdoctoral residency education programs. And now, you've all returned here today to ceremonially collect the recognition and be hooded in order to earn the title of doctor. A worthy endeavor indeed. For this you should be proud. I know that your parents and friends and family and spouses are, and they should be. You earned it, and now you're going to be called doctor by everyone around you, because you earned it. You did it. My personal pride in each of your accomplishments could not be higher, and I know that I'm speaking on behalf of every faculty member and employee at ICO as well. The recognition and sense of pride that each of you are experiencing here today is in part why we all do what we do each and every day. Today signifies the fact that our work with you has come to an end. You're now ready to take the next steps in taking your earned place in the healthcare system. You're each prepared to do great things in your communities. ICO class of 2022, you are going to do great things. Thank you. History tells us that most of you will fondly remember specific faculty that connected with you and helped you during the past 4 years. Please reach out and reconnect with these folks. I promise that you'll make somebody smile that day. You see, we all love learning from you and hearing from you and hearing about your successes. And by the way, ICO class reunions are a great opportunity to visit and for reconnecting. Doctors, you've accomplished something truly remarkable, and we are very proud of you. You did it. And now, as we begin the recessional, I'd like to ask the members of the class of 2022 to please stand. Thank you all for attending. Our degree recipient and speaker today is someone we admire greatly, and someone who has the insight to bring you words of inspiration on this important day. Your printed program contains many of Dr. Wesley's accomplishments. Dr. Wesley is an optometrist. He's a researcher. He's a scholar. a leader in many communities, an activist, a businessman, a philanthropist, and an author. We should all aspire to pursue such a full life. He earned degrees from 3 prestigious universities. He was engaged in research in cancer, virology, nearly 47 years ago, and for a company that has become a household name in just the past couple of years, Pfizer. He's also the son of a world-famous optometrist, Dr. Newton K. Wesley, a former faculty member at ICO, for whom he wrote a biography entitled Invisible Vision, The Hidden Story of Dr. Newton K. Wesley, American Contact Lens Pioneer. When I was talking with Dr. Wesley on the phone just a week ago, I suggested that ICO would like to purchase a copy of the book for each graduate here today. He immediately responded that the Dr. Newton K. Wesley Foundation would be delighted to provide the books as a gift to each member of the class of 2022. What a class act. Thank you. And thank you to the foundation. I first met Dr. Wesley and his work with that foundation. They were interested in offering some items from their collection considered to be displayed in ICO's library for everyone to enjoy. That led to several meetings, a discussion of research being done at ICO, which led to funding for some new research projects, which led to funding to establish the Dr. Newton K. Wesley Foundation Clinical Research Center at ICO. Dr. Mesner, Dr. Ackerman, would you come through? I can tell you with great personal confidence that Dr. Wesley is superbly qualified to have bestowed upon him the honorary degree of Doctor of Science in Optometry. Based upon the recommendation of the Board of Trustees of the Illinois College of Optometry, and by the power vested in me by the state of Illinois, I hereby proclaim the honorary degree Doctor of Science in Optometry upon Roy Wesley. Now please join me in welcoming ICO's 179th commencement speaker, an honorary degree recipient, Dr. Roy Wesley.
Thank you, President Collin, the Illinois College of Optometry's Board of Trustees, and the faculty for the honor of the Doctor of Ocular Sciences. I'm really very grateful, and it's very humbling to accept this degree. In fact, it's actually the first degree I've ever gotten without having to pay anything. Except maybe that, it's part of the School of Hard Knocks that gets you to this point, and maybe some of you graduates will obtain one as well in time. But you have paid your tuition, and you are about to receive the reward for the years and the hard efforts that you've put in to this point. But now to the task at hand, which is for me to give you something to take out of Symphony Hall today that you didn't have before you came in. First, I'd like to say congratulations to each and every one of you for getting to this moment. I, your family, your friends, we all applaud you on this 100th. absolutely in awe of each and every one of you. You have earned your doctor's degree, coming through 2+ years of the COVID pandemic. I wish I could hear your stories of achievement, accomplishment, and struggle during this period. Maybe you can write a book and let me know how these years went after you get a little bit of perspective on it. Do you remember the excitement of your white coat ceremony 4 years ago? Well, this is at least 10 times bigger. You came here alone among strangers, and now you have many friends and future colleagues. You have worked hard, spending hours studying, practicing, and sacrificing through 20 years of education or more so you could put on your cap and gown. You have been through many graduations in your time, but this is the zenith, the very big deal that nobody else gets except you today. I remember being confused and disoriented when I started classes at the New England College of Optometry. So many procedures seem backwards. It all starts with the anatomy of the eye. Don't worry, I'm not going to give you a lesson in anatomy. However, to our parents and to the friends, I just like to let them know what you had to go through, a little bit. So the retinal image is upside down, just like in a box camera. And the left eye, for example, the right half of the left eye will see the visual field on the left. And on the right side of that eye, you see it on the right. And the same thing for the right eye. Those messages get sent down the optic nerve, they cross over in the middle of our brain, and then gets distributed on the opposite sides of the optical lobe in the back through several different layers. Well, when I was a student, I thought, this is ridiculous. How can anybody ever make sense of all of this? And when it comes time to looking at visual fields, as you well know, it's a mess. But when I was in practice, many years after getting my degree, many of my patients had visual field defects, and it became a part of my low vision practice. They were hanging on to very small portions of visual fields because of histoplasmosis, retinitis pigmentosa, and other conditions. Helping them maintain their fields through contact lenses was my reward for the innovative techniques we were trying to use at that time. Which brings me to my first point, which is that vision is a miracle. In the same way, life itself is a miracle. So treasure your life and your actions. We only get one to a customer. Take care of your body and mind as you go through life. Use your training to improve and preserve your patient's vision. Dr. Newton K. Wesley always said, save vision, save lives. Be an example to your patients. If you tell your patients to exercise and eat well, you be that model of what you're telling them to do. I can see that you are all excited, that you're all happy as we are for you. The surrounding room just vibrates with excitement. In the midst of all these feelings, I ask you to take some moments today to dream. Yes, dream. Dream of what you wish to do. Dream of who you will become after this experience. That is your future. Within a dream is inspiration. With inspiration comes a purpose for living. Dream, imagine, and act to create a better future. That is what Dr. Newton K. Wesley did 100 years ago. And you probably haven't heard about him or his work until today. But you should know, as Dr. Collett mentioned, he did teach at ICO in the 1940s. and he recruited two of his students, George Jessen and Val Kuhn, to help in researching how to make the large lenses of the day smaller and more wearable. Newton Wesley had a dream of being an optometrist after graduating from what is now Pacific University College of Optometry at the age of 21. Life has a way, sometimes, of sabotaging our dreams and plans. Ironically, Newton experienced monocular diplopia. That means seeing multiple images in one eye. This happened during his last year of school. None of his professors could correct or explain it with lenses or exams at the time. The distortions worsened and spread to both eyes. After going to many doctors, he was diagnosed 3 years later with keratoconus. Through the intervention of an Austrian-born and trained ophthalmologist, Dr. Eric Fantel in Chicago, he discovered that his vision was restored by wearing large scleral lenses. And then that's not the type we have today. You all know that a rigid contact lens will replace the damaged cornea with a clear refracting surface. It was a miracle for him, but the pain of wearing the large shells was nearly unbearable for more than an hour at a time. So the impetus to create better contact lenses by Dr. Wesley began as a desire to cure his own bad vision, and it led to the desire to help others with the same affliction. At the same time, life threw another monkey wrench into his plans. Japan bombed Pearl Harbor, and President Roosevelt ordered the incarceration of Japanese Americans. He was imprisoned with his wife, parents, siblings, and children, including me, as a newborn baby. Fortunately, he was released after 3 months and allowed to attend Earlham College, a Quaker school. But his family, and me, had to remain in the hastily constructed prisons for 2.5 years. The Quakers opposed the racially motivated segregation of Japanese Americans and offered as much assistance as they could during the war years. When Newton's family was released, he resettled in Chicago. Newton and Wesley and George Jessen worked in the basement of George's mother's apartment building at 5218 North Kenmore in Chicago. They created molded scleral lenses. They also tried to hand-cut plastic rods and modified them on a foot-powered single treadle machine, sewing machine. They created these small, crude lenses, and after 3 years of work, they finally purchased a proper machine lathe to cut lenses and worked out a method to manufacture contacts from plastic rods. The first lab to make lenses was born in the Mallers building on Julius Road, just down the street from where we are today. George and Newton worked together in an optometric practice they called Jessen Wesley, where George had the primary responsibility.
I affirm that the health of my patient will be my first consideration. I will practice the art and science of optometry faithfully and conscientiously. And to the fullest scope of my competence. I will uphold and honorably promote by example and action the highest standards, ethics, and ideals of my chosen profession. And the honor of the degree, Doctor of Optometry, which has been granted me. I will provide professional care for the diverse populations who seek my services. With concern, with compassion, and with due regard for their human rights and dignity. I will work to expand access to quality care and improve health equity for all communities. I will place the treatment of those who seek my care above personal gain and strive to see that none shall lack for proper care. I will hold as privileged and inviolable all information entrusted to me in confidence by my patients. I will advise my patients fully and honestly of all which may serve to restore, maintain, or enhance their vision and general health. I will strive continuously to broaden my knowledge and skills, so that my patients may benefit from all new and efficacious means to enhance the care of human vision. I will share information cordially and unselfishly with my fellow doctors of optometry and other professionals. For the benefit of patients and the advancement of human knowledge and welfare. I will do my utmost to serve my community, my country, and humankind as a citizen, as well as a doctor of optometry. I hereby commit myself to be steadfast in the performance of this, my solemn oath and obligation.